Hey dudes, Sylvette Soltis here, and welcome back to my reflective series, Memories of Vanilla, the show where I talk about my memories from back in 2005 to 2007. Last time, I recapped the story of how I ended up at the Altar of Zul in the Hinterlands by killing myself with a violet dragon and meeting a ragtag group of adventurers when I rezzed. Well, today, we're going to continue that adventure. If you enjoyed this story, remember to check out my other content here, as well as over on my blog. There's a lot more coming, so make sure to hit that bell for notifications when new content is released. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get on with the story. Our group of 4 made our way over to the massive troll stronghold of Jintha'Alor, and immediately knew that we were in for a rough time. Lining the stairways heading up the mountain were packs upon packs of elite troll mobs. I had no idea how many there were beyond that first stairway, but judging by the sheer size of that stronghold, I knew that this was no 15-minute group quest. This was going to take a while. And so, we began our ascent. Carefully pulling each troll back, we slowly, and I mean slowly, made progress up the mountainous village. One by one and two by two, the vile forest trolls fell. But more than once we accidentally pulled extra mobs, either by standing too close to a patrol, or when a low mob would attempt to flee, and our group wiped. Whenever this would happen, we'd sigh, run back, res up, and continue our difficult endeavor. It was a long and painstaking grind, but eventually, after about an hour or so of getting lost and turned around in our climb, we reached the top. And there, locked in a cage on the other side of a cave, was a baby gryphon named Sharpbeak. Back when I had first visited the Hinterlands, I had started a quest chain in Airy Peak to search for a baby gryphon, Swiftwing's heir, in different locations around the zone. And though one of those quests in that chain had required me to visit the Altar of Zul prior, at that time I had simply run up and completed the scouting mission without trying to defeat the 2 elite trolls there. So, through my adventures in Azeroth, and eventually running through Zul'Farrak for the first time, I'd managed to get to this final step of the quest chain. However, no matter how many times I clicked on the cage, it remained locked. Reading the quest text, I knew what needed to be done. So our group backtracked a bit, searching for the Vile Priestess Hex and the Jintha'Alor altar, simultaneously among all the high-level elite packs. Luckily for me, they were both in the same location. Unfortunately, however, it took a long time for us to find it, getting lost in the various rooms and areas atop the mountain. At one point, we found ourselves in a room filled with slimes, and had to fight our way out of the pit in the center, which, while not particularly hard, did kill a good 5 minutes or so of our progress. But nevertheless, we persevered, and eventually we did find the altar in the distance, along with the Vile Priestess, who was just a few yards away, patrolling around the cave entrance nearby. We buffed up, drank to full mana, and prepared ourselves before we ran to engage. After all, even if my group mates didn't need her, she was a little bit too close to get to the altar without risking a face pull. If I remember correctly, she had a hex ability that turned us into frogs a few times as we battled her, but otherwise, the fight was pretty straightforward. As she fell, I looted the key to Sharpbeak's cage, and joined my party members over by the altar. Clicking the sacred mallet in my bags, I sighed in relief as it was transformed into the object we'd sought, the Mallet of Zul'Farrak. One objective down, one to go. We backtracked through the path we'd just cleared, killing any repops as they spawned, all the while making our way over to the cage where Sharpbeak lay. Exiting the cave, I looked from left to right, as to ensure that no other trolls were waiting to eat my face, and I carefully made my way over to the cage and clicked on it. Within seconds, the door swung open, and the baby griffin flapped its wings once more. Sharpbeak was free. My party enjoyed the short scripted event that followed, with Sharpbeak fluttering over to the edge of the mountain as his parents flew overhead to greet him and take him home. I shed a tear in real life, and I nodded as the 3 griffins flew off into the sunset. No sooner had they despawned in the distance did I turn back to my party to ask my next question. Alright guys, so what's next? I hope you enjoyed this installment of Memories of Vanilla. It was a really fun little tale to recount, especially after just discussing this quest chain in my most recent video, Top 5 Classic WoW Alliance Quest Chains. These 2 events, the quest and the obtaining of the mallet, were really powerful memories of my late 40s back in early 2006. Looking back, I'm really going to miss that long quest chain as I climb Jintha'Alor again on my troll priest for that mallet later this year. But I guess that's just the way it is, huh? Anyway, that's all for now. If you liked this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button for notifications when more content is released. Also, feel free to leave a comment telling about your experience with this quest chain or getting the mallet for yourself. Check out my blog over on Blogspot for written content, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter for updates when new content is released, or just to check in and see how things are going. I try to make something new every week or so, and with several months until WoW Classic is out, you can rest assured that there's a lot more coming until I take a no-life neckbeard break for the first few weeks or so. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.